Welcome back to Queen of the Movies podcast. My name is Ronika Jade. Uh, yeah, okay. So last week, as you know, I didn't put out anything. Last week was just a little much. I didn't get a chance to even figure out what I wanted to do, or write it up, or record, or anything. It was a lot. So gave me a little bit of time to figure out what I wanted to do, and I know it's coming in a little late, but it's still gonna be out today. Uh, you know, or Monday. I'm saying today, but it's still gonna be out on Monday. It may be out a little late on Monday. I don't know what time. But yeah, it just anyway. But today we're gonna be talking about Romeo Must Die, one of my favorite movies for sure. Rest in peace, Aaliyah. Um, so if you haven't seen it, well, the movie came out in 2000. So if you ain't seen it, then that ain't got nothing to do with me. uh, it, 23 years ago. Okay. So, but anyway, let's get into it. It is a martial arts take on Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, just without the dying at the end. Spoiler alert if you ain't seen it. Um, yeah. So without any of that, and it's morally um, about Chinese and um, blacks in gang activities. But yeah. So anyway, ex-policeman Han is jailed for a crime, um, and he breaks out to avenge the murder of his brother in America. He meets Trish, which is that sounded so crazy. Trish, which is Aaliyah's character, um, just by happenstance, really. And they start to fall for each other. Uh, and Trish helps him in the search to figure out who killed his brother. So it's really about rivals, like I said, Black American and Asian American groups. So in the opening, I'm sorry, I'm taking my hair out too. I'm undoing my hair because I had it in two strand twists. But in the beginning of the movie, opening scene, it's you're in a club, right? And you see these two Asian American girls dancing, and there's a Asian. His name is Poe, but you see all these other people like looking at him and looking at them. It's because they're in a fully black club. Uh, really, only black people go into the club. It's really all they let in most of the time. But uh, then he gets approached and he's told he needs to go. You know, uh, maybe go somewhere that is a little bit more his speed, I guess. I don't know, but he wasn't bothering nobody. Uh, he wasn't doing nothing um, wrong. He just was sitting down waiting. I don't know. We didn't know he was waiting, but he was just sitting there. He wasn't doing nothing to nobody. Um, so anyway, he kind of gets into a little fight, and then Kai, which is his father's chief lieutenant, rescues and reprimands him within the club. So he tells him to get out, and then he has a fight with the guys at the club. And then DMX comes out, who Silk, because they're in his club. Silk, he comes out and just says into the ceiling, and then he's like, "Guns don't kill people. People kill people." I and then he pretty much says, "If y'all ain't trying to get killed and y'all trying to go home, you need to go. Get up out of here." Okay. But anyway, they talk outside the club, and it's clear that Poe, is his name Poe? Yeah, Poe. Um, is just like into doing his own thing. He really don't want to take no orders. And then he tells Kai, "You work for me." Kai's like, "Oh, back up now. I work for your daddy." I don't know. That whole scene just felt a little weird, I guess you could say. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but um it was a little tense. It was a little tense. Uh but anyway, he leaves him there, goes home. Next thing you know, this kid on a bicycle is just riding. He's obviously riding his bike because I said he was on a bicycle. And he's looking like, you like, dang, what he see? Because he look a little skate, kinda. But yeah, he's just like, whoa. And then when it cuts the shot to see what the kid sees, oh my God, Poe's dead, hanging up like in a wire line or whatever in a black neighborhood. And I'm trying to figure out um, how did they get him up there? But anyway, they made it very obvious that they were trying to create a like war between the blacks and the Asians because why else would they hang him in a black neighborhood? It felt very obvious and very like it was a very obvious misdirect is what I'm saying. Yeah. But so blah blah blah. That scene's over. Cuts to Jet Li, who plays Han. He's in prison. Somebody comes up to him and whispers in his ear, and then he's like silent. He don't say a word. Well, he didn't say a word anyway, but he's just like he just gets up, goes to the guards, and then starts a fight. Okay. Now, at first, it's just like, well, what did he say? Don't you think you should have hit him if it made you that upset? But um, they put him like in a confinement or whatever. Now, okay, some little background about Han. He is a skilled martial artist, and he was a former police officer. And he was imprisoned in Hong Kong. Um, which the reason why he was in prison you'll find out. I'll tell you later when we meet his dad. But he is trying to escape because he found out his brother was just killed. So he gets himself put in. I guess it's solitary, but they hang him upside down, and they was gonna beat him. So when he starts a little fight, whatever, they beat him until he like knocks out, and they have him hanged up in this solitary confinement. I'm like, what kind of solitary confinement is this? Why are we hanging people upside down and whatnot? What is this? But I don't know if that actually happens, but he wakes up. He just opens his eyes, and then one of the guards is like, "Whoa!" And then I thought it was a pretty cool fight scene because I'm like, how did y'all get beat up from a man hanging upside down? That don't make no sense. But whatever. It was a cool fight scene. And then he ends up escaping. So he puts on, um, and then there's a guard outside who he knocks out. Or no, he has him open the door and then beats him up and takes his clothes and is stopped at the gate. He's at the gate. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to the racetrack. And then the guy's like, hey, stop, because the alarm gets sounded. And the guy at the gate is like, wait, stop. He's like, oh, crap. What you want? And then he's like, hey, put in a bet for me, too. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. And then he rides off. And then they shut down the facility. Oh, and there goes his escape. Wow. That probably would never actually happen in real life. But it's okay, because we know it's a movie. So he travels to Oakland, California, to look for answers, because that's where his brother is living, and that's where his dad is, too. So Um, but you also meet his father, Chu, who is in a joint venture with Isaac O'Day, Triss's dad. Ah, you see, um, who's a black real estate developer as well as a gang leader. So he has this business called O'Day. I forgot what it's called. O'Day something corporation. I don't know, but he has an actual thing. So I'm guessing he launders money also for whatever illegal activity he does. You never really see what he does illegally other than uh well, no, you really don't see what he does as a gang leader. But I'm like, well, what do you do? What do you do? Because he was trying to buy all these deeds up. That's what they're doing. Like him and Chu, the joint venture is that they're buying deeds from waterfront properties because the person they're going to sell it to, Roth, is trying to build a stadium to get I think it's an NFL team. Yeah, to build an NFL franchise. So it's like, what? I mean, he was trying to just buy them, um, like on legal, I guess, a legal way. He was trying to just buy him. He was sending his people there to be like, hey, I'll pay for it. I'll give you this amount of money, whatever. And some people wanted to sell, some people didn't. But the ones that didn't want to sell, the chief, what do they call him? Chief, chief lieutenants of both sides would like kill him or just threaten to kill him. Because you see, there was a barbershop that was blown up. You didn't know why it was blown up. You just knew it was blown up. Um, and then there was a boat full of Asian people that Kai blows up later on. That's later on in the movie though, when you find out, oh, they're not good. Um, but anyway, yeah, he travels. You meet Isaac, you meet Chu. Um, so after Poe is killed, Isaac is a little worried because he's like, yikes. And the fact that he was found in a black neighborhood, he doesn't want Chu to think that it was him or his people, because then that would make issues. So Chu is like reassures him that their partnership remains intact, but Isaac is like, I don't know, I gotta be careful because he don't want. Because even though Isaac says that he did not kill Poe, he did not order anybody to kill Poe. He didn't do that. It wasn't him. And he's like, he doesn't. And even though he says that it doesn't matter. I guess in that world, it doesn't matter what you say. What it looks like is probably what it is. So he's like, I don't need him retaliating on me. So now I got to keep my kids safe. So he puts, what you call it? He puts a detail, like security detail, on Triss and Colin, which really he doesn't have to do it for Colin because Colin works for him, which Triss hates. But anyway, we met Triss at her store. I forgot, Serpentine Fire. That's what it's called. I don't actually know what the store is. I know I saw clothes in there, so I guess she sells clothes. But they play music and then they have little dance breaks with kids. So I don't really know what she does. I know she owns a store. But anyway, how Han and Triss meet. She is going to a record store. Maurice, Anthony Anderson's character, is sent by her dad to protect her. And she's like, I don't want no parts. I can drive myself. He's like, yeah, I know what you said. I don't really care what you said. This is what your daddy said, so this is what we're going to do. And she's just like, um, but she can say please though. He's like, please. She's like, okay, hi. And what's funny is she didn't remember his name. She was like, do I know you? He was like, see, you funny. You know I work for your daddy. She was like, starts with an M. Moron. Which comes back like multiple times. And it's funny. And he's like very funny. It's Maurice. So he drives her to the record store. He's listening to music. You remember like in them FE stores or FYEs? Whatever, the record stores that we used to go to. Like okay, us 90s babies and on when they had the stores and you could have it had the headphones and you could listen to the music in the store. Yeah, that's the type of store they was in because like I said, the movie was put out in 2000. It was made in 99 though. So let's just be clear about that. Anyway, flirting with a girl. So she sneaks out as he's not paying attention and she happens to get inside the cab that Han is stealing. Yes, he steals cars. Uh, Not professionally, obviously, because I said he was a former police officer, but he steals more than one car in this movie. Really, I think it's only two that you see. I don't know, but or three, I don't know. But anyway, she gets into the cab and she's like, "Please just get me out of here." He was like, "Off duty." She was like, "You know what? On duty. Here, $50." And she was like, "Akbar? That's your name?" And now I'm like, Trish, I know you're smarter than this because that man does not look nowhere close to Han. Okay? They don't look nothing alike. I don't think she really cared. She just was like, get me out of here. And then what's funny is when he realizes that Trish is gone and he looks around and then he runs, but he didn't take the headphones off. So he tears the thing off the wall. Hilarious. And then he runs out the store. And she's trying to convince old dude to take her somewhere else. And then she looks back, and then he almost sees her, and then she ducks down. And then I was like, "Who is that?" She was like, "Nobody." And then Anthony Anderson says, "Trish, I'ma find you a Leah looking ass." Funny. Anyway, um, so she finds out that he can't drive, and she was like, "You still allow cabs in Hong Kong?" And then he's like, "You want me to pull over? Do you want me to pull over?" She was like, "No, no, 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 no." It tells him where to go. Like I said, they have a good little conversation. You see the little chemistry between them. Some people some people feel like there was no chemistry, but I felt like it was. But I'm like, what type of chemistry are you looking for? The hot and heavy? Because the whole purpose was that it was a slow burn. Like they just met each other. It's not supposed to be like sparks flying. It's just like oh, cute little flirtatious thing. I don't know. I thought it was cute. I thought they had chemistry, but it wasn't like what you see now in the movies where it's like, oh my god, uh, I met you and now I'm in love. No, it wasn't like that. It was like that. You first meet, you think she's attractive, you think he's attractive, or whatever. You think they're attractive, and it's just if I see you again, cool. If I don't, that's cool too. I ain't really thinking about it like that, but I met you. We flirted. It's fine. So he drops her off at her store, you know, and, he's like, he kind of asks for her number, and then she's like, you think I want you calling me? What? You crazy. Anyway, but they, she walks into her store, he drives off. Okay, that's cute. He goes to his Han goes to Poe's funeral. Kai sees him, tells the dad, Chu, hey, your son is here. Look up. And you see him. Okay. He puts like a little, because they have their little tradition of whatever when someone died. At least in the movie, there was a tradition of what their funerals look like. I thought it was cool. But So then he goes, sees his brother's body. He puts a basketball there with the body. And then he talks to his dad, and he pretty much blames his dad for Poe's death. Okay? And then he goes and talks to Kai. They have like a little thing. They're like, anyway, they have history. They know each other, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I'm, excuse me. That was crazy. Um, he finds out about the whole Chinese and blacks. There's an escalation in the gang wars, whatever. Um, then he goes to Poe's condo, looks around for things. Just and then he just I guess is it star 69 or star 67 where you or whatever he dials he he redials the last number that Poe called and called him, and it was Serpentine Fire, Trisha's store. So he's like, huh. Well, he didn't know it was Trisha's. He didn't know that it was Trisha's store, but he goes because he probably wasn't really paying attention what the store was called. He just saw her walk across the street. Actually, I don't even think she. It doesn't matter. He didn't know where she went. He just know that he left and was watching her walk away. Mm-hmm. But they he gets a cab to drive there, and he sees Trish walk out the store. He tells the cabbie, "Hey, follow her." He's like, "Okay." What kind of mess? What cabbie? If I tell a cab or cab driver and I say follow them, they just gonna do it? Different times. I don't know. Maybe. But I'm trying to figure out how does she not see him walking up the steps behind her? That I always wondered that because he was right behind her. How did she not see him walking behind her? But anyway, she gets into her apartment. He walks in before the door closes and shuts the door hard as hell. I'm like, why did you slam the door? What is wrong with you? And then she's like, what are you doing here? A good question. Why would you follow me? Are you insane? She was about to call the police. And then he was like, please don't. Um, I met you earlier. Now you feel like a stalker. Why would I not call the police? That's crazy. But anyway, she ends up not calling the police, and he's just like, listen, my my brother died, was killed. I'm just trying to figure out what happened. He called your store. She's like, I don't know who your brother is. He didn't talk to me. Probably didn't talk to any of the other girls. And she was like, oh, but my brother sometimes makes calls from my shop. He was like, your brother? Oh my God, we're intertwined again. And then, so he's like, can you please talk to your brother and figure out what they were talking about? She was like, okay, fine, whatever. When I see him, when I have a chance, I will do it. Okay, thank you. She was like, oh my God, you need to leave. Maurice, goons of my dad are coming. You need to go. She was like, go out the window. He was like, no, I'm going to go out the door. She's like, okay. Because she don't know that Han could fight, right? So all she knows is like, you don't seem that dangerous, but they are dangerous because I know them and I don't know you. You real small, and so he walks out the door, but he pretends to be a delivery boy, and so when they come up, he's speaking, uh, I think it's Mandarin that I think, and because we know he was in Hong Kong, we know he's Chinese, so I'm pretty sure in China they speak Mandarin. Don't quote me, but I have looked this up because I didn't want to sound ignorant. But I'm pretty sure that the language is actually Mandarin. But I don't know. But he pretends to be a delivery boy, and then they're like, they send him on his way, and then Maurice is like, but where is the food? And she was like, you hungry, baby? I was like, okay. So they go after him. He beats them up, and then he steals Maurice's car. He was like, great country, free cars. Let's go. I was like, I feel you. Just steal a car again. Okay. Um. So anyway, blah blah blah. There's a scene with her and Mac in a restaurant, and he's flirting with her, and she's like, "I just threw it in my mouth." That's nasty. um. Blah blah blah. He hits more, and it doesn't matter. Um. Then you see Colin has a scene with Isaac, and he tells him that Poe had called him, so a way trying to figure out a way to end the war between them, and he met him, and Isaac was upset that he didn't tell him. And he's like, you need to tell me these things. You don't just meet with him by yourself. And then Colin's like, I'm a grown ass man. And Isaac said, oh really? And what the older people say? I I brought you into this world, I can take you out. So that's pretty much what Isaac says. And he's like, looking like he's trying to cry. I'm like, ain't you supposed to be a gangster? Like, what is this? Man up. Colin Green? That's what Matt calls Colin. He calls him Colin Green. I don't really know why. I guess because his name's Colin. Whatever. Anyway, make it okay. Well, later on, Colin and Trish do see each other. I don't know. I can't remember if it's before Han asked her to talk to him or after. It doesn't really matter. But later on, Colin and his girlfriend is killed and thrown out of their condo window into the water. So he did, and that sucks. You don't see who kills them, just like you don't see who kills Poe. So blah 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 blah. There's a scene with Trish and Mac and Maurice and all the goons. And Trish is with the kids. They're at a park. They're playing football. Trish is getting ice cream. Ooh, I didn't hit the thingy. Trish is getting ice cream for the kids. Han shows up. It's like, you talked to your brother? She's like, no, I didn't, not yet. It's okay, calm down. And so then they invite Han to play. He don't know nothing about no American football. Okay. So they beat him up a little bit. And he was like, why ain't anybody else getting hit? What is this? And so Mac is like, because you the one with the ball. He was like, got you. You ain't saying nothing but a word. And then he beats up everybody on the field. It was hilarious. So pretty much he just overturns the ball, beats him up, takes the ball back, all the way into the end line or the end zone. I sounded crazy. I sound like I don't watch football sometimes. I don't, but I know some terms. But anyway, moving on. That was a fun little scene. And they flirted a little bit more. Okay. All the kids thought it was so cool. After Colin and his girlfriend is killed, Trish ends up she sees her brother, and she's obviously distraught. She tells her daddy, this is your fault. I hate you. Stay away from me. Then she gets all done up, looking all nice and stuff, goes to I don't know how. Oh, he gave her the address. That's right. Okay, never mind. Because I was like, how did she find that apartment? He gave her the address. He was like, this is where I'm staying. So, in case you want to come. Okay. But she ends up going, and he comes and sees her sitting there. And I thought Aaliyah did such a good job in this scene with the emotion and just, you know, talking about a memory of him and what they used to do and play and stuff like that. And now it's like her brother's dead, and it's just unreal. So yeah, I thought she did a good job. I thought she would have made a really good actress. Unfortunately, she was taken from us too soon. But so this is when they team up. They find a list, and she's like, "These are all oceanfront properties." So there's a lot of them crossed off. So they go to one property. It was an Asian place of business. Motorcycles come. while everybody's shooting him. So it's a little chase, and then one of them they fight, but Han is like, I can't hit a girl, and then so he pretty much it was like a dance. It was so not it was nice. I liked the choreography, and the girl who was Asian find out it was an Asian motorcycle people that killed them. So he goes to his daddy, she goes to her daddy, and they both asked him, what is going on? Daddy, Chew, this is Asian people. Trish goes to her daddy, asking, Daddy, did you kill Poe? No, I didn't. And then Chew was like, it was the black people. They hired Asians. Make it make sense. Stop it. They ain't go through all that trouble. They ain't doing all of that. But anyway, killed Poe. Okay. This is later on in the movie. Also, you find out Matt killed Colin. Had other trying to take over both of them. It was their own thing over here, their own thing over here. Dance while she's trying to get him to dance, and it's a Leah song. Leah and DMX's song, and they're in silk. Beats up everybody, throws Maurice out of a window, lands on top of his car. He goes to get Trish because he's like, where's she at? He going to get his girl. They I just like, this is a nice check, right? But I don't want the money. I want shares into the NFL franchise because he said, I got a long game. I want the money in the long game to keep getting money because this is just one check. I could get more than this in the long run. Smart. Max said, you crazy. You tripping. You have always in our box. Mac Incorporated or whatever the crap he named his company. He was going to name his company. So he betrays Isaac. Oh my God, such a shocker. Like I said, you find out Matt killed Colin, and they mad. Matt goes after Roth to get the D's. Isaac gets shot, but then ends up being able to shoot the guy that has Trish. Han goes after Mac. Mac gets the D's because he's shooting, and Roth is using the briefcase to block the bullets, but then drops the briefcase, and it opens, and so Mac gets the D's. And then Han comes. They fight. Mac is about to shoot Han. Trish comes and shoot Mac. He's like, damn, that's cold. Yeah, it is. That's what you deserve. And then he flips off the roof. But not before Mac tells Han that he didn't kill Poe. That was all in-house. He ain't had nothing to do with that. So Han goes to Kai. And he's like, you killed my brother? And Kai was like, yep. Your brother was, you know, I don't even know how to put it in words. Your brother wouldn't listen. And he was about to ruin things for us. So, yeah, I killed him. And then Han was like, that was a mistake. He was like, I ain't worried about it. Come on, let's do this. Let's do this. Great fight scene. Tell you one thing. Kyle was a looker. Okay, I sound like my grandma. I did like his walk because my grandma would say that. I love the way he walk. Yeah, a little bit slack. Anyway, but they have a good fight scene. Han kills Kai with a kick to the head in the air. Yeah, you just have to see it. You'd have to see it to know what I'm talking about. It's cool. And then he goes to his daddy, and he's like, you killed your own son because of this. How dare you? I went to prison for you. Ha. He went to prison, which you found that out earlier. But Han went to prison for his daddy because his daddy was doing some shicey stuff. And then he and then Han made sure that they got out of China. And he was left behind. He took the fall and went to prison for getting them out of the country. And he's like, and you didn't protect him. He was like, so she was like, well, then fine. Like, you're going to kill your own father? In my head, I was like, I know good and well you ain't trying to guilt trip him when you killed your own son. You killed your own son. And you got the nerve to say you going to kill your own father? He has a right. Hold on. He cannot talk. You killed your own son. Over gang stuff. Like, come on now. So Han was like, not gonna give you the satisfaction. He said, I avenged my brother's killer because it was Kai. Kai killed him. I killed Kai. It's done. I'll let the Chinese families handle you. And then walks away. Shu blows his head off. Shu kills himself. So Trish comes as Han walks out. You see Trish running up, giving him a hug. She's like, are you okay? Well, I would think that was a very loaded question because he found out that his daddy killed his brother and his daddy just killed himself. So I think he's probably not because now he has no family. Patricia's like, don't worry, I got you. And then they just walk off. They walk off together and it was sweet. And yeah, she comforts him. They walk off together and stuff. And I thought it was cute. They don't kiss, which was intentional. Fun fact. Aaliyah and Jet Li were like, what? Well, no, I think it was Aaliyah's idea. They were like, we don't need to kiss. Like, that's not what the story's about. She was like, I think it'd be, it's a slow burn. They found each other. They're like, oh, I like you. We're flirting, whatever. Anyway, I thought it was very cute. The romance aspect of it was cute. But I love that movie. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like a Grammy. It deserves a Grammy or nothing, but for the time that it came out, I could still watch it now and be thoroughly entertained. I thought Aaliyah did a great job in this movie, and I wish she was still here. So, because she would be so much further, doing way more movies, and actually being good in them. Because I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, I thought she did great, and I'm gonna watch it again. But yeah, so like I said, if you haven't seen Romeo Must Die, you definitely should go see it. It's just a good movie to watch and enjoy. It really is. Yeah. So hopefully next week will be a little bit more on time. I'm so sorry. Like I said, it's just been a lot. We're looking for a house, and we might have found one. I don't know. We're gonna see. So yeah, we just been busy. I'm trying to do this, and kids and stuff like that. So we'll see. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for next week. I think I have an idea. I just have to write it up and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you again for joining me. I'll catch you next week. This is Queen of the Movies podcast.